Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Godspeed Today. I'm your host, Riley Roseby, the man behind Godspeed, and we have a fun program today because you know why? eVTOLs have taken flight. Yes, folks, the flying car composite is going absolutely gangbusters. This is an equally weighted basket between Joby and Archer. And let's take a quick look at the Archer chart or the Joby chart here first. Joby is up 40% so far this week. It's gone absolutely parabolic. And we can see here Archer starting to make its way higher as well. It hasn't fully broken out compared to Joby, but we are getting close to that mark. Now, what's going on with these eVTOLs? Well, both Joby and Archer have successfully tested a piloted flight in Dubai and are working on the final certification steps to get commercial operations up and running in the UAE before the end of the year. Now, what the price action is telling me between Archer and Joby right now is that Joby has a competitive advantage. Now, to the extent is a little bit unclear. We haven't seen any official press releases that might indicate why Joby is outperforming to such a degree. But we follow price, and the price is speaking to us, and Joby is taking the lead. Now, I do want to point out, earlier this week, Joby just announced that it upgraded its operational capacity to build more eVTOLs, and it increased its fleet size by just one more vehicle. Now, this doesn't sound like a lot, but when these vehicles cost multi-million dollars in R&D, you're getting the FAA involved. It is a cumbersome process. So even adding one more vehicle to its flight or to its fleet is significant. Now, I want to move on a little bit from eVTOLs and talk about drones because 10 days ago, the White House issued an executive order unleashing American drone dominance. And one of my favorite drone stocks in the market is this Red Cat Holdings. And we can see Red Cat had a pretty nice move there at the very end of last week. And this was the gap on the news. And the stock is up 69% since the executive order really took hold. Drone stocks are something to watch. I know Rick and Alfonso and the team have put together a drone composite, and we'll be sure to link to that in the show notes here after the program. Now, moving on a little bit, because AI is the hot topic and will likely be the hot topic for, I don't know, maybe a decade, but AI browsers will change the web. Everything we know about the web is going to be different. I think we can all remember the early days of Google Chrome when we were playing with, Firefox, Chrome, Safari, Internet Explorer, if you were one of those adventurous types. And it was kind of one of those things. Every other month, every other week, a new browser would unleash a new tool and people would kind of move around. Well, we're seeing a new wave of browsers come to town, and it's an AI browser. And Perplexity's browser, Comet, is quite significant. Now, here's a tweet from Arvind Srinivas. I definitely butchered his name, and I'm sorry, Arvind, on that pronunciation. But Arvind is the founder of Perplexity, and he tweeted, "It's going to be a decade-long grind, but success is not guaranteed for anyone yet, not even Google. Fun times ahead." So here's the CEO of Perplexity taking direct shots at Google and its Chrome dominance. And I just want to point out, do we all remember this little guy? This little guy from the Microsoft Office days where, Clippy was our friend. Looks like we're writing a letter. Do we need some help? Well, Clippy wasn't all that helpful. But with Perplexity, we have this AI assistant on the right-hand side of our browser, and it works like a charm. It is literally Clippy on steroids. We have our LLM built in to the web browsing experience. You can ask it to summarize videos, help you edit and write documents, send emails, add items to your shopping cart in Amazon, book tickets. It's pretty incredible. If you haven't tried out Comet yet, I highly suggest you do so. I think it is worth the $200 a month to pay for Perplexity Max just to get this feature. Now, if you're an early Perplexity user, you might get rolled out kind of a free invitation to Comet, but if you're eager, impatient like me, just go ahead and pay the $200 and have yourself a ball, because AI browsers are the future. They will change the world, And today, at this very moment, is the worst that they will ever be. And I really want us to remember that. Like today is the worst AI browsers will ever be for the rest of our lives. Up and to the right, folks. Now, autonomous driving is here to stay. And I wrote a great blog post today talking about the ETF of the week. And our ETF of the week was Drive. And the reason Drive stood out was because autonomous driving is having its hockey stick moment. And we're not totally seeing that reflective in the price. We have an ETF here. Oh, I'm going to jump around. So we have an ETF here. This is the Global X Autonomous and Electric Vehicles ETF. It is still trading below its all-time high anchored VWAP going back to 2021, but we have that nice little oops dip move there from the tariff tantrum, and we are right back at the scene of the crime, hovering just below this anchored VWAP. Tesla, what was it? Let's say 3-4 weeks ago, they rolled out their robotaxi platform in Austin, the nice beta, and already they have expanded their geofence. And this is the new map. And yes, Elon is a child. We can all see that here very clearly. But one thing that's notable is Tesla's geofence is roughly 4 square miles larger than Waymo's. Now, this is just one city, right? Waymo is in Los Angeles. They're in the San Francisco Bay Area. They're in Phoenix. They're in Miami. They're mapping out DC. They're mapping out New York. They're mapping out Boston. So Waymo has an advantage. However, Tesla's expanded geofence here in Austin is significant. And we've talked about this numerous times, right? Tesla has this effortless, seamless ability to scale that no other autonomous car company has. At the simple push of a button, a push of a software update, Tesla will be able to turn any Tesla vehicle into a robotaxi. Now, that is scale that we have yet to see anywhere in the world. So I want us to take a look at the Tesla chart here. We are in a range. It's a wide range. It's a 100-point range between 370 and 270. And the stock has just been gyrating back between these two figures since mid-May. Hasn't made any progress. But if we look at the long-term underlying trend of Tesla, it is up and to the right. So my bet as an investor is not to fade this trend, not to bet against this autonomous driving reality that is setting stone, but to lean in and to take a shot here. We have our well-defined levels to manage risk. We can place our stops below 270, I'm sure with everybody else on Wall Street. We can place our stops below 270 and see if we can get a shot. Now, if Tesla really starts to accelerate, they start launching robotaxi platforms outside of just Austin. They already filed to operate service in Phoenix, and it wouldn't be surprising to see Phoenix authorize Tesla to operate before the end of the month, maybe early next month. We start to see some traction on this robotaxi platform. The headlines against Tesla may flip. Every news article, it seems to be coming out about Tesla or Elon is negative. Elon's losing his leadership teams across his companies. Tesla's going through all these issues. The news is negative, and the stock is still holding up. And I want us to take that as a sign, because what happens when the news cycle flips and everybody starts pounding the table on Tesla again? Is this stock going to go up to all-time highs? Are we going to see 600 before the end of the year? I don't think it's too crazy to say. But autonomous driving, flying cars, these are the transportation trends that are going to reshape the future. And it's all powered by AI. Folks, that is all I have for you today. If you enjoyed today's show, please be sure to like and subscribe. Give me a follow. Maybe give me some feedback. I'm active on Twitter almost 24/7. Feel free to shoot me a DM. That is all I have. I hope you all have a great day. Happy trading.